Hello, hello.
There we go. There we go. Sorry, a little technical difficulties there on my audio side. Sorry. You could do your intro again, sir.
I said hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome, man.
That's
Welcome
not it.
to What in the Metaverse podcast. This is a special edition today. This is the Mazer edition where we have brought on a few of our org mates to talk on about Web3 gaming and everything in this space and how we feel and the type of games we're playing. So, shout out the homie Shamgar and Frankie Diamonds, aka Sir Diamonds, for coming out and kicking it with us today. And we're going to get this conversation started off real soon. Shout out everybody that's in the chats today and all of the chats all around. Ghost Cat Joypad's in there. Total Bite, I see you over there. Rexinator, Jay Lee. Shout out all you guys coming in today.
Yes, sir.
So I guess we
I
can
mean-
start off with some intros. We'll let you guys introduce yourselves kind of to the podcast and who you are, kind of what you're doing in the Web3 space and how you got the Mazer maybe as well.
In that case, I'll go first. It's Frankie Diamonds, what I'm saying, the one and only, the most charismatic, the most energetic. What I'm saying? It's my role really is more so along the lines of in decentralized finance. I'm very deep in DeFi into the crypto space. I enjoy doing a lot of things on chain, and I like to move on chain. I like to keep my privacy and my funds secured on chain. And so when it comes to gaming, I've been gaming my whole life, what I'm saying? So most of the games I play are Web2 games, what I'm saying? But the fact that I'm able to incorporate a lot of Web3 things into what I do is absolutely amazing. And now that I just actually copped a new PC, and so I'm really looking to get more involved into the actual Web3 portion because, with just like a regular little Dell laptop, a lot of the Web3 games that are out right now, they're not really allowing me to play them at the capacity that I want to. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to in the near future, especially in my role with Mazer. Is getting into a lot more, being a lot more active into the Web3 games, because most of my time is spent streaming Web2 games, like Call of Duty, FIFA, 2K. But I'm extremely deep into, like I said, the DeFi space, the crypto space, the blockchain space, all of that. I truly have ingrained myself into that culture. So I have a lot of fun, what I'm saying? And the reason how I got to Mazer, really just sometimes you gotta know the right people, and the right people see my see my personality and see what I bring to the table. And shout out my boy Abra, he gave me an opportunity and put me on the squad. It's been up ever since, and they've given me opportunity after opportunity just to be a part of the team, and I'm truly grateful for that. My socials are all Frankie Diamonds on Twitch, Sir Diamonds on Twitter, Frankie Diamonds on Instagram. You can go see all my clips and everything in there. On YouTube as well, I got a bunch of videos on YouTube as well. What I do, Frankie Diamonds on there. Like I said, man, it's the one and only, man. So I appreciate you guys, King Apollo, J Cluster, for having me on today, and I'm excited to have this conversation.
Yeah, man. No problem, man. Excited to have you, bro. For sure.
Yes, sir.
So, Shamgar, the immortal. What's up, man?
What's up? I kind of feel shy.
Sound good, man.
I feel
Come a little
nervous.
closer to the mic, though, because we could barely hear you.
My bad. I don't know why I feel nervous, but I've been in the Web3 space like 8-9 months, I guess, at this point, damn near a year, and it's really just been grinding like beta tests for different games and like testing out new games and just trying to give feedback to developers and like really try to get shit started. Like I guess not the right way, but like so far, I guess like the only way to like onboard true Web2 like onto Web3 or like just merge both because like you said, I still play a lot of Web2 games myself, but I really do play a lot of Web3 games. So I'm kind of like deep in both. So I play hella games, and I really got introduced to Mazer just from grinding that and like trying to get more out there in the Web3 space. And he reached out, boss reached out to me, and I was glad to work with you all. Like I already played with J Cluster, already seen you, and so I don't know. It feels good to be on the team and actually like work with people and be able to do things like this.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah.
For sure. It's dope. I mean,
Yes, it's great to have you guys on the org, honestly, and this is going to be a good chat, I think. in-person game. A lot of them do, and sometimes Mazer hooks us up with sponsorships and stuff like that. We get to work on. It's pretty fun. So,
Yeah.
because the last one that I saw Shamgar doing was crypto battles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't do that one, but it actually didn't seem to. I thought it would be more boring.
I thought it would be too.
Honestly.
It's actually interesting. Like high key, your heart would be racing while playing that game because like you actually got a bet. I think I am going to create a Kick though and stream through Kick to try to play that game because I don't want to be on Twitch playing that. I didn't realize.
Yeah, it
can't get
seems
a
like
hard
it's
ban for that.
basically gambling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But we're
Kick's
gonna say it's
definitely.
trading. So
I think
we're
Kick's starting
definitely
to,
switch to Kick.
Kick's starting to become more the platform for the guys. Like the Decentraland's heavy over there now. I think they've kind of like transitioned over there. I've seen a lot of the Decentraland poker streamers start transitioning to Kick. It's crazy. Maybe we could probably kick it off like that. Like, do we feel like maybe that's like the move for those guys? With the current nature of Twitch and like the whole gambling scene. Let me see
I
how
think we should
big.
just use both. Like, it seems like because on Kick you can't get in trouble either for like the TOS stuff, so you can actually like somewhat express yourself. Because like I do find that hard on stream sometimes because you just can't say certain things, and it like makes it hard, especially like when you're like hard running comp and like you just get mad. Like you really have to like restrict yourself and stuff. So like in that sense, I feel like it kind of holds back the content. So like I'd be excited to be on Kick and like be able to run those Warzone squads and actually get like those fucked up comms. Like it's just
Yeah.
part of the game. So like I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, for sure.
I mean-
Kick definitely gives you that a little bit more freedom than Twitch, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of big streamers make moves over there. Majority of the major because Stake is crypto. Now you really think about it, isn't Stake crypto, right? So I never even correlated to that because I don't gamble. So it's like, I don't gamble in that aspect, right?
Yeah,
Like
boy.
in
Yeah,
that
I
aspect,
do.
right? So I never really correlated it too. But yeah, so the shift happened, I guess, originally at the top, which you would have like your Aiden Rosses, what's the other guy, the other real big Trainwreck. And those two guys, they transitioned over there originally, and they're kind of like was the trickle effect because that was the notoriety, right? If anybody could start up a streaming service, right? Nobody on our side is gonna even make a transition or even think about a transition until they see somebody of notoriety that was over in our space over
Yeah.
here kind of go over there, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
I think that kind of led to a trickle effect of that because I remember like just like a few names off, like Empress Ray. She's a big ice poker streamer. She transitioned completely over there. 4Bets as well. He was big on Twitch. He transitioned over to Kick as well. So you're starting to see like that trend in the space.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Sure. Like I said, it's really about giving the creator the most freedom as possible, and at the end of the day, if any individual feels that they have more freedom, on a certain platform, then they're probably gonna go over there. You know what I mean? So, and from what I heard is, the payouts look a lot better percentage wise on Kick, compared to Twitch as well. So people who are getting, not even a lot of revenue, that's something to think about because, Twitch is taking almost 50%, if not more, off of everything. And when you look at Kick, I think it's less than 20% that they're taking. So even with the little amounts, that adds up month over month. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and that can help grow your channel immensely. If you have the extra disposable income to throw back into the channel. So.
Well, my question is like, I wonder what the demographics of Kick is. Like, as a Web3 gamer exclusively, if I went over and I was just started exclusively streaming on Kick, who would be there to watch me that's like into Web3 gaming already? Like,
Into Web3 gaming, not necessarily gambling either. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
It might be a different aspect of how you pick up like people who like Web3 because you could find a lot of Web2 people that just naturally like trickled into the games you already played. Because if the algorithm is different, I mean, it won't be like how Twitch is. So maybe you might get more exposure as a Web3 streamer, and especially if you get more freedom. I mean, more people in Web3 would tend to veer towards that anyways. My whole question with Kick is like, like long-term sustainability, because every single other platform that's come up against Twitch always gets shut down somehow. So
Yeah.
like, it always only feels like a matter of time. But if it's like really around to be sustainable, like kudos good to them. But that's all I really want to see.
Yeah, I agree with. I really feel you. That's my whole thing with it, right? I started on Facebook gaming. That was my original platform, right? And they were the same, right? It was they pay a little better than Twitch. They kind of look out for you guys over here a little more, this, that, and the third, and it was good for a while, but gradually I noticed like they had no like Twitch. I don't feel like Twitch is really great at helping growth, right? I feel like if you're not a grinder, if you're not somebody who's gonna learn socials and learn how to work different platforms to bring people to all together as one, then you're just not going to succeed. Twitch is not going to help you with growth until you get big, until they know that you can make them a bag. And I mean, that's business at the end of the day. But they seem to fail in that aspect, and it's maybe because Twitch might have it down pat where they have the actual ratio like together, where it's like, look, this is how much you can give in order to keep this business sustainable, right? We might not agree with it, but it might be the reason why we all still have an opportunity to stream right now, right? And to still have a platform to use. So I
My
definitely
thoughts
agree with
about
you.
Kick is like, I think that the expression is great and stuff too, but sometimes I see some pretty fucked up shit on there.
Yeah.
Like the way that people like straight up like harassing people on a train or something. Like what's going on with that? Why is that
No,
happening?
for
Like
sure, for sure.
like
Yeah, and then you got people watching that too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
yeah.
it's incredible the stuff that people sit through and watch. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that. What I really want to see, to be honest, is more Web3 native streaming platforms. To be completely
Yeah.
honest, that's
Yeah.
really what I'm looking forward to in this space, and moving forward, and that's something that I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with, but Lens, um, they're a blockchain, a Web3 protocol that they're focused on building their own social medias, their own Web3, social. I forget what they're actually calling it, but their own Web3 socials. They got their own Web3 Instagram, their own Web3 Twitter, their own Web3 YouTube, and things of that nature. Where if more people were to on board to those protocols, I would
Yeah, it's
feel
cool.
much more comfortable streaming from something like that, that's Web3 native, rather than Kick, Twitch, Facebook Gaming, YouTube. Just because from what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to build in this space, inside the Web3 space. And so I would much rather do that than to, promote something that's Web2 native when I'm trying to do something in Web3, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I mean, like Ghostcast in the chat here, was just streaming on a Web3
Xenon.
native platform.
Xenon or something like that.
Yeah.
XENON, something like that. It's like XE. Ghost Cat, what's it called? He's in the chat. He'll tell us. But
Blue Mojo would probably know about it.
And then there's also Schiller that's coming out eventually. Apparently,
there it is. Xenon.
Yeah, and there's another. Yeah, Schiller is co-founded by. Oh my God, Snoop Dogg. There we go.
Which
that
one?
one's coming out soon.
Shriller, you said it's called?
I mean, I have to do more research on
Schiller.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
Snoop Dogg has his hands in everything.
Yeah, right.
he's all over the place. Snoop's just like he's just smoking weed and grabbing up projects.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta be, though.
It
You know what I'm
is.
saying? You gotta be moving with the times. And he's done that to a T. You know what I'm saying?
Continuously, like that's why he's remained kind of like
Relevant.
pop culture relevant his entire career, and
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with it too, with this whole space. I mean, not to dive too deep into it, but like that's kind of like where we're at. Like people don't believe in it because it's new technology, and that's kind of how it is. If you don't move with the times, you get left behind. So the people are kind of looking at it like, no, that's not. Well, then when stuff actually moves that way fast, now you're behind. You're like caveman, and you're like, oh, I don't know how to work this. What's a wallet?
the thing I say to all those people, because you know that's the majority of the population. You know, what I'm saying in our space, feels that way. You know, their favorite companies, their favorite games, are all investing in the metaverse or all investing in the Web3 space. You know, so there's a reason for that. You know, so that's how I feel about it. You know, their favorite games like Assassin's Creed just came out with you know, their own NFTs that you can get. You know what I'm saying, stuff like that, and so just things of that nature. When you look at different games and how you can incorporate Web3 and how you can incorporate the metaverse and how you can incorporate NFTs and things of that nature, is really limitless, you know, and it's really going to put the power back into the creator's hands, if you really look at it, you know, from that perspective. So I really feel like we're at the very, you know, at the very pinnacle, at the very beginning of something that's really about to go crazy, that's really about to take off. And you know, it's just like you said, you know, people aren't going to believe until it's too late, you know, and you can't really how do I say this? You can't really force nobody, you know, into it. You know what I'm saying? You can just set the facts there in front of them, and they're gonna take it as they want to, you know.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, their favorite companies, their favorite games are all investing in the space. They're all investing in Web3, Metaverse, NFTs, and it's really just a matter of time before this is the new normal. You know what I'm saying? So.
I mean, it also makes me think
Yeah.
about too, like different nations and governments and like what they're investing in using the technology for. Because I mean, like generally, like if you look in like China or other countries that already have CBDCs and like what they're trying to do with like a centralized blockchain and how they're like literally terrorizing these people on the other side of the planet. Like it's kind of scary. So like for me, for people
There's
that like
always
think
two sides.
it is, but it's like for me, people that think that like this tech can't do this, it's like, well, you can clearly observe and see people who are using tech to abuse power. And it's like on the opposite end of that spectrum, you could obviously use it to like help uplift individuals, and not only individuals but communities and other nations as well. Like it just kind of like always baffles me how people get to that like thought process in their mind.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like honestly, like when like people still don't believe like streamers or like people who like make digital content or anything and like earn income or anything from it. It's just like I don't know, like the world isn't the same way it was like 20, 30 years ago. Like you really just have to go with the times. Like
for
Bro, the iPhone's not even 20 years old. Like that's really, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got an iPhone or everybody got a smartphone, and literally that's not even 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? So the times are changing, and the technology, you know, the technology curve is exponential. So once we get to, you know, a certain point, it's just gonna go absolutely incredible or absolutely insane. And it's just gonna take off, whether you're with the times or not. And so I would rather be on, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather be on that boat than, you know, watching that boat sail away, to be honest.
That's a fact. For sure. Look at YouTube, where YouTube came out. I mean, I was in like high school when YouTube came out, right? Probably like 15, 14 when YouTube.
days.
Yeah, early YouTube days. I remember like really cringy content. But early YouTube days, right? It's 15 years. That's like 15, 17. So it's less than 20 years ago as well, right? Since YouTube came out, and really think about how many multi-millionaires have been made and how many of those guys have made their friends millionaires along the way as well, right? And people who've turned into, you have sports guys, right? Diamonds, you're a big sports guy, right? Stephen A. Smith, he's got his own thing with Sportsbook, DraftKings. You got Gilbert Arenas, another guy who potentially probably wouldn't have been able to do anything else, right? He's got his own thing on YouTube. He brought so Cluster's not a real big sports fan. Gilbert Arenas bought a gun to a team practice to like, it was like somebody said they were going to do something to him, and he brought the gun, and said, all right, go ahead, do it to me. So he kind of was like, he was on the deep end. He was doing a lot of different stuff at that time. He's better now. He's cool.
His podcast is like really good though.
His podcast is amazing, right?
How he adapted to that like is really good. Like he genuinely made the best of the situation.
16 years ago, 15 years ago, if that happened, it's no way in hell he's on ESPN. It's no way in hell. It's no way in hell he's on ABC Sports. It's no way in hell he's on any of that. I mean, the man literally said he had cocaine drop out his sock during the game. So it's like, it's no way any of that would be possible except for this technology that people looked at in the beginning. Like when I used to watch it, my mom was like, cut that super stuff off. Like, what are you watching? And I did. Well, I was watching some crazy stuff, but still, right? Technology, like you said, once it hits a certain point, like think about it, from all the way up to the 1900s, we basically had like shit, like everything was shit, and then like it just
technology
took off.
democratizes information, right? So that everyone has access to it. Everyone can be a creator. Like 30 years ago, it was like if you're news only comes from journalists, and those journalists only work for certain news agencies. But now, anybody's a journalist. You just open up your phone, make a post, take a video, write a blog. Like, it's all at everyone's fingertips. So like, the way that we're sharing information, the way that the media works is so different thanks to technology. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy to see how much it all changes. And like, so where's social media going? I mean, I just looked up lens.xyz or whatever. It's a pretty freaking cool
Yeah, brother. Like I
website. It's got
said,
all sorts of
I
decentralized apps.
yes, sir. At this point, they're not off. They're not even open to the public yet. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a whitelisted account. So basically, how Lens works is you have your ETH name, whatever your ETH address is. You know, mine's sirdiamonds.eth, so that's what my account's registered there, and it's the same account through all their socials. You know, so they have a LensTube is their YouTube. I'm Sir Diamonds on there. Lensta is their Instagram. They have Orbiter and Orb and hold on, let me see what I forget what else they have. They have a oh wait, I have everything. It's let me pull this up in a new tab. Lenster is their Twitter. And it's literally what's cool about it is that you post to one of the social medias, it posts to all your accounts throughout all the social medias, throughout all their different protocols. And
Yes,
and like I said, it's very interesting what they're doing over there. And like I said, I enjoy posting over there and doing things over there because like I said, it's Web3 native, you know, and it feels a lot better than, you know, I'm not saying because Apollo sees me, you know what I'm saying, I'm active on Twitter too, you know what I'm saying, because you gotta be, but as more people progress over to the Web3 space, you know, I feel like Lens will be a huge player in that space. The way they integrate all your accounts into a single feed, and no matter if you're on their Twitter, on their version of Twitter, their version of YouTube, you can see all of your posts, and they allow different protocols to build on top of their Lens graph. And so at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, there's multiple different types of Twitters, you know, and you post one, but it posts to all your accounts because it's all under the same account. You know, if I want to post one thing to Instagram and one thing to Twitter, I have to do that separately. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you can link your accounts or whatever, but everything's already linked, and that's extremely cool to me. And like I said, they got their LensTube, which is extremely cool because, you know, in the gaming section, there's not a lot going on. Because it's so new and it's so new to people. So like I said, if we were able, and that's what I'm saying, I'm trying to get Mazer. I'm waiting for them to get back to me to get Mazer a Lens profile so we could start posting, you know, Mazer content over there. And I really, bro, that would really take off in my opinion, because like I said, we have a lot of talented creators, and if there was a way for us to put all of that content over there on LensTube, and we would rule the trending page on LensTube. I'm telling you, because I posted like 3 or 4 videos, and every time I'm on the trending, you know what I'm saying, I'm number 1, number 2 trending, because there's not a lot going on over there yet. So if we create that action, we create that, you know, that activity, bro, I'm telling you, man, that shit can really go crazy. But that's just one, you know, that's just I've never even heard of Schiller and what's the other one? Xenon. I haven't even heard of those. So you know what I'm saying, I'm a little biased towards Lens, but I do truly enjoy what they're doing over there for sure. And if you guys haven't checked it out, like he said, it's lens.xyz. You can check out the LensTube. Lenster is lenster.xyz. You won't really be able to post or nothing, but you'll be able to see what's going on. And if you guys are interested and you guys like what you see over there, reach out to me on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to Apollo. He can reach out to me. Reach out to Cluster. He can reach out to me. And I could probably, most likely 95%, get you guys a whitelisted account to get you logged in over there and get yourself started over there. All you would need is an email and an ETH address, you know, a MetaMask address. So, and I'm sure, you know, everybody who watching this almost all have one. So
yeah, that's sick. Appreciate that, brother.
No, for sure, man.
Yeah, it's a cool platform. I'm gonna have to check that out. There's another
Absolutely.
platform coming out that augments your Twitch stream. So it's called Sagaverse, and it's like an app that you can watch people's Twitch streams through the app, and then it gives you a whole bunch of abilities to create content and memes and stuff from from the streams. So and it like makes them into missions or challenges. So like you can reward your chat for making like a funny meme of you dying or something. And then turns
seen
that
the
into
Bulls
like an
app yet?
NFT. Sorry, what?
Have you seen the Bulls app yet?
The Bulls app? I tried to freaking I downloaded it. I wanted to use it. For some reason, it doesn't like my phone number, so I can't make an account. I'm sitting there. I keep trying,
Wait,
but
aren't you in Canada though?
yeah,
Could that be why?
it says that like you can put a Canada area code or whatever.
Yeah, the world code, whatever thing
Mm.
before.
I just figured about it like last week. He's been telling me about it and did some research on it. It seems interesting. I don't know how much like practical use it have, but creating content for different consoles and for Web3 games is kind of like the whole point of everything. So just getting it all like organized sounds like the plan for overall.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of cool initiatives going on right now too, and I think like as Web3 content creators, you know, we're already trying to keep up with all of the new Web3 games updates all the time, but you know, it is also up to us. We have to also keep track of all these different sort of content creation sort of options, whether it's like augmenting your content with AI or finding new platforms to use that are like Web3 native. It's just a constant freaking struggle.
Yeah. I think it also too lights the fire under the bigger conglomerates to either like figure out a way to retain that side of people and also kind of cater to them as well. Or to just like shun it, like, oh, we're not dealing with it and we'll let those guys kind of deal with that kind of thing. Because if you see, like, Twitter's already integrated stuff like NFTs, and we all know Elon's big on crypto. I mean, you even have it to the point where, I mean, I think it was like one of the presidential candidates for the USA was at the Bitcoin thing this week and was speaking on it and how that's like something he wants to bring on board and like something he's for and feels like it's Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pushing the Bitcoin narrative for his like kind of campaign, and which is like in an aspect kind of like what Trump did, right? He tapped into a market that nobody tapped into before, and it worked out for him. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? It led to a lot of crazy things happening. You know what I mean? People could give their take on that on their own time, right? But you're seeing more of it being adopted into spaces where we felt like it wasn't supposed to be or isn't supposed to be, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's shaking up like traditional sort of power structures, I think. And you know, changing the game in a lot of ways, and you know, I like that kind of stuff. I like to see big changes happening. It makes me more hopeful for like the world, you know.
yeah.
Sometimes I'm like,
does, but on the back end, I mean, it doesn't scare me, but it just like lights that fire into me to work hard. Because like everything I've seen in the Web3 space of like people getting scammed and different people that I know that are like in reality, like IRL, like actually just pieces of shit, but like they go online and like they're doing so much. How many people are scamming like VC funding from different projects? Just it's like a plethora of things that happen. It's just like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily make me like lose hope in like society or humanity, but it's definitely just like awareness wake up call for real. For real. It's just like, damn,
Yeah.
this world is really gritty for real. It will get on your ass like really fast.
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like that's just like big business. I facilitate stock meetings, right? So like I hear like huge companies talk about, and it's like the same stuff. Like I literally sit back and watch, and they literally talk like, so I'll sit back, they'll talk about like how they don't like crypto, like people around the events, right? And then the same aspect, they're kind of like all doing the same thing, right? It's just in a different way. Like they're doing stocks, and it's the same thing as like this. Like
Yeah.
it holds the same value, it's just on different chains or however you want, a different technology, right? And backed by different things. But I feel like that's just like a thing in business. Like we're gonna have the scammers, we're gonna have the scumbags, you're gonna have the bad businessmen, you're gonna have the people that get over on their communities and get over on and use the money
That's
that
an
they're
anything,
given.
though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's literally an
I just feel
anything.
like we get such a bad rep because it's so early. And
Yeah, and people are
Yeah, 'cause it's the
uneducated.
Wild Wild West there.
It's
Yeah.
so easy. It's so easy to manipulate somebody who's uneducated in something. You know what I'm saying? So
oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying, when you got people shilling like these NFT projects or whatever it may be, to make a quick dollar. People see people making quick money and they want to get in on that. And it's
Mhm.
simply just
Yeah.
not that easy.
Yeah.
So and that's where a lot of the misconception comes. A lot of my friends that I tried to put on in real life, they just want to make the quick cash. They see people making money off of NFTs, they see people making money off of 100x leverage trades, and they want to get in on that. And it's simply just not that easy than just dropping in. Of course, everybody can get lucky, but at the end of the day, it actually takes work to grind and figure out. Like Jay Cluster said, it's a never-ending battle trying to figure out how to fit in the space. So
It's a fact.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that, man. I mean, it's people will argue you up and down. I wouldn't even say argument. It was just like a conversation, and somebody told me like all those games suck, right? And I'm like, name 5
Yeah.
of them. Like name 5
Well, they
games
can't.
that are in the Web3 space, and he's like, I don't know none. And I'm like, so how could you say they all suck?
Yeah.
And it's
I feel
literally
like-
just people hearing what other people say. It's hearing all of the stuff. Like they shine the light way brighter on the bad stuff than they do the good stuff. And that's
Yeah.
literally what it is. And a lot of bad stuff happened early on in this space, and that all got pushed to the front end of the media and to everybody else. And it kind of, I don't want to say messed up, but it's making it harder for content creators, for games who actually want to do the right thing, for projects that actually want to take care of their community, have utility and things of this sort. It makes it harder for them now because everybody's like scam and all of this stuff, when
Yeah.
it's really just people are uneducated, right? People don't know.
True. And
I
the
had
bigger
someone-
sense too. Oh my
Um,
bad, you go.
I was just saying that I had someone saying the same thing. Like, you can't say that Web3 games are fun. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I have a lot of fun playing all sorts of Web3 games. Like, what?
I think that's because people haven't really played them though. Like honestly, like when I look at even the people I play with 3 games with, there's a lot of Web3 games they haven't even played that I've played. Like people
Yeah.
really just haven't. Like people like, for example, like I even had people that won't play like certain games. And like I remember I literally had like not an argument, but it's like an actual like conversation I had like with Bryson in his chat and everything, because we were talking about like different Web3 games and we were talking about like games he didn't like and stuff like this. And I was like, bro, like no cap, like I really feel like Earth from Another Sun's like one of the best games like that Web3 has. And he was like, oh, well, I played like 6 months ago and I didn't like it. And I'm like, the game was totally different then. Like even the
Yeah,
game right
bro.
now, like it's 2 different games now. Like you can't let one experience or like one negative perception of something and be like, oh well, I'm never gonna fuck with this project or anything ever again. It's like, bro, like the games are constantly growing. Like these games are still in like beta or alpha. Like they're not even like final games yet. Like Earth and
Yeah.
Another Sun just got to the point where they can actually like save your like progress now, so you don't have to erase every time there's an update. So now you can actually just build now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get back into Earth from Another Sun.
Yeah.
I haven't spent enough time in there. It's such a big game that for me, that game is hard to pick up because it's so big. Like there's so many different elements to it that it's a commitment, and it's a commitment that I'm like I haven't made yet. Like I haven't dedicated enough time to really sort of get my arms around it.
Yeah.
Completely.
I haven't played
Well, I
it at all.
haven't beat all of it, but I've beat like probably 20 to 50% of it. Like I've like conquered worlds and everything. Like once you start like smacking planets and getting your own tanks and like your own army. Like the game really does get interesting and fun. And especially if you play like in squads, like how you do on big time, the game is really fun because you can just go do like cosmic vortexes or like heroic hatchets, and those are like insane.
Mm.
But you
I
gotta
can
like
imagine
you
that'd
do
be
have to grind though, because like their rank system, you have to like rank up. Like to be comfortable in the game, you have to get to like seven to 10 now at least. And for you want to be at like 10 to 15 because you want to have like the tanks and stuff like that. Because without the tanks, it's hard to take on like bigger opponents because you'll just
right.
literally just get
Yeah.
one shot.
That was one of the coolest parts about that game, though, is that like you essentially get an army that you get to command, and that was like a really really cool feature. I like that. That kind of like leads me to one question I was gonna ask. Is like, what Web3 games are you guys playing these days? Like, what's the go-to?
For me to answer that question, you know, like I said, I'm trying to incorporate myself a lot more into the newer games. So if any suggestions that I should play, anything that you guys believe that I should get into, let me know. The things that I've been playing, you know, I'm more of a battle royale individual, you know, so things like BR Infinite, built on Solana, stuff like that. I like Riot
That's
Racers.
BR1.
Yeah,
Is that the
yeah,
BR1 one? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just got access to that, so I have to check that out.
Yeah, so you know, I like Riot Racers. I enjoy that. Even though it's not with Riot Racer, you're not even really racing. You know, you kind of just it's more of a strategy game. I enjoy that a lot. Yeah, BR1. Yeah.
Yeah.
And things of that nature. You know, I enjoy So Rare. You know, I know Apollo got his squad. I just got put
Yeah.
on that recently. You know, that's not technically a game. Once again, it's more strategy. You know, but things of that nature I'm enjoying right now. So and like I said, I just got my PC. You know, I just dropped some money on the PC, so I don't have to play these games on this little dookie laptop. So definitely, you know, anything in the comments, you know, if you guys are playing some cool games, definitely throw them in there, and I'm definitely gonna get myself incorporated a little bit more. So
Speaking of an
Brazzle's in
awesome game, let's go.
Eldor.
Brazzle's in chat. You got to get into Aldor, man. It's our
Oh
diamonds.
yeah.
Multiplayer comes out soon too. And
What,
that's
for
gonna be
Aldor?
interesting. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be very
Shout out
fun.
Grass though. What's up,
I've
Grass? I'll see you in the
been
chat.
I've been playing everything because I mean like I so hard ground like competitive for like Fortnite and COD. But Web3 like wise, I really like King of Fighters. I don't know, I love fighting games. Champion Ascension's been pretty fun too.
Yeah.
But I need to get on there with you all or some friends because like if you're not like on with anybody, it's hard to queue in with people. So I definitely
Yeah.
gotta start playing with people more. But I've been playing with Blue Mojo on those games, and then I don't know. I've been playing some games that are like Web 2, Web 3 in between. They're not like truly Web 3, but they actually like do have their own coin or like way to pay out players. So it's like where they have their own in-game economy, but they're not truly Web 3. It's called like Trove. It's like an older game. I don't know. I just started playing it. It's actually pretty fun. But I've been like all over the place playing things since I'm about to start like hosting more tournaments and doing things for like the team and everything. So I've just been like all over the place, honestly, with everything in gaming. Like I think I like get on Twitter, I'll like get on Telegram and just like look at the new games. I'm like, all right, like what are we playing today? It's like I'm about to go play like actually have you all heard of the Fabled?
Fabled, yep.
Fabled, yeah. I heard of it. I just haven't played it. That's the one.
I played it like one time. It's
not. That's a
super
Web
hard.
2 game, right?
No, I think it's built on Polygon.
It's a Web 3. No, it's a
Okay.
Web 3.
I'm pretty sure it's built on Polygon.
It was really fun though. It was hard though. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like figure out actually how to play it.
Well,
But I have had some bad experiences. Like I played this one game. I let Bryson. He hosts like great tournaments. Like not saying Dickinson, but the Dead Drop game, I couldn't. I wanted to throw my controller and my PC like so hard playing that game, bro.
it takes
So the
a while
first
to get
time-
used to the movement.
Bro, it's so like bro, it makes no sense to me. I couldn't get a kill or do anything. It's like I actually placed in for it and I'm like pretty good at COD. And it's like I get on these games and it's like none of that skill can translate over. And I'm like, bro, what's the issue? Like the first time I couldn't play on controller, and the second time I could play on controller, but it was like through like Steam's big picture. And
Yeah.
apparently when you run anything through Steam, it was just like hella input delay. So it was like you might as well have just been on keyboard to be honest.
Yeah.
But There have
Yes.
been like some pretty fun shooting games I've played though on Web3.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And it's just
Yeah.
speaking on Fable, it's kind of like it's kind of like Rust. I feel like like you go through an open world, and it's like you gather weapons. You know what I'm saying? You fighting other people. Um, you can trade different items and stuff like that. I feel like as that game progresses, a lot of people are gonna enjoy that type of stuff. You know what I mean? That open world, open RPG game, to where you have a lot more control over than a set story that you have to go through. You know what I mean? Set missions that you have to go through, and I feel like as that game progresses, it's gonna be very fun to play. So I'm excited about that. Definitely excited about Fable. Crossed my mind for sure.
What's y'all's top 3 like best Web3 games right now?
How about you answer that first?
Oh,
Based
but
off. Are we going
Gameplay.
based off
gameplay,
gameplay?
not money, not
and
money.
no, I mean like, cause listen, you could go off. I could go off fun meter, but that's opinion based, right? Some people have fun playing Power Wash Simulator. I can watch it, but I won't have fun playing it, right? So like I need like so like in my opinion, what games I enjoy playing, my top 3 that I enjoy playing in Web3 right now is SCG football is probably right now would be my number 1, just because I play it the most and it's sports and it's like the only real sports game I kind of got right now in Web3.
Yeah.
2 after that, I don't really play any I don't even really know, bro. Champions.
I mean, you've been playing big time lately,
and
but
big time, yeah. But I like big time. All right, let me tell you something. I like big time. I like big time. I like playing big time. I just don't know how. I'm not an MMO person, so I couldn't see myself like saying it's in the top. Like I don't know. SEG,
Swoops.
Champions, well, Swoops, yeah, Swoops. But Swoops is more like a simulator. I don't know if you mean like, can I add that in there?
You can call, I think that still counts as a game.
Yeah,
if
okay,
you
so
play
that's Swoops
it.
for sure. Swoops for sure. Swoops for sure. Swoops for sure. So Swoops, STG football,
I
and
think those Swoops is.
Swoops is all right. So Swoops is a simulator. It's a put it like this: Zed Run for basketball.
It's like what?
Zed Run for basketball. That's the best way I can explain it to you. Literally, it's Zed Run but basketball. You have robots that are your players, and you buy players and you set up these rosters, and they have chemistry. Have a whole bunch of different stuff that goes into it. And you set up your team, somebody else sets up their team. Sometimes there's wagers involved if you want. Last season was season 0, so they didn't have any wagers because they were trying to figure the whole thing out. But you go in and your team goes against somebody else's teams, and we all own our own teams. We got our own logos. It's like a real imagine like a fantasy league on like steroids. Yeah, like on steroids. It's 300 owners, so it's 300 teams. And we all just play against each other in lobbies, and you build up this record over the season. And at the end, they have this big tournament called the Super Bowl tournament. And the top 64 teams go in, and you get placed based off of your seeding. So the only thing right now is not visual. So that's why I kind of like throw it in like more. It is a game in the aspect, right? It's more of a manager game than an actual gameplay game. It'd be more like Football Manager or those type of games where or what's the one on baseball? It's not the show, it's the other one. Dang, they have, you know what I'm talking about, right? They had one, on MLB where it was like strictly manager stuff, right? So that's more on that. But yeah, I would say SCG, Swoops, and dang, Champs, because I play it more often. Anything else?
I need to get into I need to spend
you gotta get into Champions. I want them to add more stuff. Like the arena is cool, but I want to go into the world. Like I got my little pet and everything.
Yeah, the open world, that open world is what a lot of people like. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
being able to control what they do next. So
yeah.
What about you, Jay Closer?
Yeah, he plays
it's
everything.
Tough
bro.
call.
He plays everything.
I spend so much time all over the map. It's just like, but there are things that I play consistently, right? Does that mean that they're like my favorite games in Web3 right now? Not really, but they're the ones that get the most of my time. And it's usually because they're the ones that have just like they're developed to a point where the core game loop is like entertaining enough for me to stream for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's why I big time's like up on the top of my list of regular plays, because I've got a good group of people that I play with. The core game loop is simple, but it's good, and the game works, and I feel like it's starting to get more entertaining to watch too, just because they've like really they're starting to dial it in. The combat is pretty good, and now there's like the dungeons are so difficult with all of the giant piles of mobs. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Dead Drop is a funny one. I totally understand your frustration. It's like, fuck, I suck at that game.
It's the lobbies for me in
But-
that game.
Yeah.
Too small.
Yeah.
Bro, on
Yeah.
God, that map is so big for no reason. And I was like, there's like 8 people in the lobby, bro. We're fighting over $1,000, and like literally the map, like you could walk around for 5 minutes, not hear a sound, and you're just dead. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we could have just did this on Combat Master, and on God, it'd have been so much more fun and quicker. I don't know if you all played Combat Master yet, but it's like a better version of COD. It's on Steam. It's free. Like you can like slide and everything, and you can actually like they have like really good search and destroy and like different ranked modes and everything. But it's like actually a pretty fun game. I've been playing it a lot lately.
That's lit. Yeah.
And Grazlo says he thinks trading card games have a big head start in Web3, and I agree with that. And like if I think of a trading card game that I like to play, it's definitely Warsaken.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. Warsaken is one that I like that I want to get back into. I like GU, but GU is so far along. When I got there, I felt out of place.
Yeah.
And I felt like I would have to spend too much money to keep up with those guys who were there since 2018 and stuff. And I just was like, yeah, nah. But Warsaken I definitely want to, we got to get some games going again. That was fun that night we were playing. I think he was kicking my ass, though. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, Kiraverse. I think when
Yeah.
Kiraverse finally releases their BR map, it's gonna be a go-to game to play.
So
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah, let's pan off that, right? We talked about the games we are playing. Now, what's a game that we are playing that we like right now, right? Our tops, right?
Ice poker counts.
Freak, Ice Poker. No, Ice Poker is definitely in my top 3. Dang. I'm going to have to bump Champions down. I'm sorry. No, I play Ice Poker like every other day. So Ice Poker definitely count. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, for sure. Ice Poker is definitely in my top 3. Dang, the Central Lane's gonna kick my ass. I still love y'all. I love y'all, the Central Lane. And I love Champions too. The only reason I'm gonna knock Champions down is because all 3 of those games I can play every day. In Champions, I love Champions. Shout out to Champions people over there. Shout out Squiddy, who was just over there. He's not over there no more, but I love Squiddy. Squiddy did a great job helping out the community over there. A great guy. But yeah, Ice Poker, dude. I forgot about that. Yeah, I just won 2nd place in a tournament this week too. That's why I was late to our meeting, because I knew I won, but my UI was messed up in game for some reason, so it did not. She showed me in 63rd place, but I'm really good at counting numbers in my head and like math. So the whole time I'm playing blackjack, I know how much money I got. Yeah, I know how much money I have. So I'm like, I'm playing blackjack the whole tournament to get up. So I'm like, I know how much money I got. And at the end, I'm like, I'm supposed to be in 2nd place, dude, like 2nd or 1st. And I went to Discord and I had to go through a whole ticket process. I had to show them my whole VOD. We had to go through and literally like minus and add every bet from the whole hour, like beginning to end for the whole tournament. I had to go in and add it, but I did win 2nd place. So yeah, the Central Land is definitely. So 1, 2, 3. It'd be STG. What was my? Oh yeah, STG, the Central Land, and then Swoops. I'm gonna do it in that order because I just got into Swoops, so I'm gonna say that. Yeah, that's my final answer. But they threw me off with that. But going into my next question is right. we talked about the games we're playing now, right? That we like, and like how I just mentioned, right? I like those games, and I had to knock Champions down because of the play schedule around it, because it's pre-alpha, right? We're in there a bit early, so it's only certain times we're gonna open the servers up, because servers cost a lot of money to run. I don't know if people know that, but they cost a lot of money. So if you're not actually making money, it's kind of productive to you building out something to keep the servers open. That's why you guys don't get to play regular Web 2 games the entire time while they're building them, right? So what games have you played that you're excited to come out, right? And I'll start off with just saying I play tested Wildcard, right? Not a huge MOBA fan, didn't like League, didn't like Smite, didn't like any of those, right? Literally had this conversation with Finn. Shout out Finn. Finn did my playtest with me. I had this conversation with Finn, and I said, Finn, I don't like these type of games, but I came to play this so that I can find one that can change my mind, because I'm all about like trying to find one that I like. I'm a gamer. I like to play games. I would like to find a game in every category I like, right? But it has to resonate. Wildcard is definitely one. It's literally like Pokemon and like Smite mixed together. You got a deck of cards, you're summoning monsters out. You're working strategically. The map is, the way it's built is like you can use ways to go under and like flank up. You can flank by teleporting over. So there's a bunch of cool stuff. So I'll say that's the one that I'm really excited to come out. I don't know when they come out. I know that they'll be at 3XP, which we'll be at. So I'm gonna be playing it there some more, a little bit more, like on a lengthier schedule, because right now that's the only way you could play it is by getting a playtest set up. So that's what I'm excited for. I want to hear ones that you guys are excited for, that you made a privately play test, or that you've seen and you like graphics and you're like, yo, nah, when that comes out, I gotta play that. Like, which one would it be for you guys?
Damn.
I mean, I like Fable. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's one time I played Fable, I enjoy that. Like I said, I mentioned Riot Racers. If you could actually race the vehicles, I feel like that would be something that I would enjoy a lot, because I like Forza, I like Gran Turismo, I like games of that nature. So if there was a game of Riot Racer Source where you customize, you tune your car, you get everything the way you want it, and then instead of just watching the results on the screen, you actually race the vehicles. That would be something that I'd be looking for real. That would be something that I would really enjoy. Along the lines, also, like I said, I like VR1. So when they come out as a finished product, that I feel like, and like I said, I've been playing on my little Dell laptop, so my frames per second were like 7 or 8 when I was playing. So once I get this PC set up, which I got it in my room right now, I just literally just gotta take it out the box and start getting it together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting an extreme performance. A lot more, a lot better experience with that when I get involved with that. So, but if I had to say something, battle royale games, open world games, more of a racing game, I would like to more involve myself with, for sure.
I think you just described Sandbox Joypad. Ghost Cat. I always say his name wrong. Like, I mix the words up. Literally, like when I read that, I just think of Sandbox. Literally, except for the part maybe like separate them. Maybe you can't like separate the top and the bottom, whatever. But yeah, Shamegar, what about you, man? What you excited about coming out, bro?
Bro, there's so many games. Definitely on the top of my list is probably Oldor, just because I have fun. If I have fun playing a game by myself, like against fucking AI. Bro, I'm gonna have fun playing with like a whole team full of people, and you have factions to play against other people. Bornless, I'm really looking forward to, because having like different tournaments and like the AMA for them, and like seeing how far their games progress, especially in that latest update. There's even more stuff to come out, and then how much money like Export and everybody like threw behind for tournaments. I'm like really excited more so for the competitive side of that game. I would actually like to start like try harding in that game with people. Because that's more so like what I'm into, is like the competitive FPS, like shooter or like fighting games aspect of gaming. But obviously Earth from Another Sun, like, because I mean it's really fun right now, but the full game's not even out, and a lot of people don't even know about it. And honestly, The only thing that holds Earth from Another Sun back is their fucking process to sign up for the fucking game, bro. It's so
That was such a pain in the ass.
bro, it pisses
I
me off. I
told
wanted to
him
get
that the
J
other
Clutch
day.
on there. I want to
I
get
told
J
him.
Clutch on there, and they literally made it hard. I was like, bro, just make your game to where niggas can.
It was
actually play
impossible.
the game. Like it shouldn't be this complicated. Like you shouldn't have
Yeah.
to do all this linking. Like fuck all that. Like this is the reason why people aren't into Web3 is because of shit like that. So I
Yep.
think if they could solve that issue, because like in my personal opinion, I really do think they have the top 3 like Web3 game in my opinion. Like music wise, their
It looks good.
quality of gaming, graphics, their actual
looks great.
combat, like
Mm.
it's solid for real. So
I don't know if
can't
I want to
really-
spend 45 minutes signing up.
Yeah,
That's the only thing, bro.
issue.
The
You
onboarding,
can spend
bro.
like you can spend like
Onboarding
hours playing it.
games out there, devs, publishers, whatever you do. Onboarding must be the easiest thing. Onboarding must be the easiest thing. Onboarding must be the easiest thing for your
One
game.
click.
One click.
Just one
It should
click.
be easiest. Email, you shouldn't require a wallet. It should be optional. It should be the easiest thing. If that isn't easy, you cannot expect to bring it to content creators and say, hey, can you help us onboard people? No, we're talking to 40 people at once, and you want all of them to go through a 45-minute process that is
Make it short.
extensive. You're going to give all of us aneurysms. We're all going to be gray-haired before we're 40, okay? So,
And it makes it
yeah.
even worse because like if we struggle, like if us four, right, struggle to get on that game, there's no way people in Web 2 are hopping on that shit, bro. There's no way. Like my
Yeah.
homies that don't even have a wallet, like
No.
niggas is gonna tell you like what? Like what are you
No.
talking about? Like
They're not
there's
getting
just
on.
no, they're not. Like I've literally seen it. But honestly,
Yeah.
I think for the Web3 space, like kind of a spoiler, I guess, like not announcing it, but talking about it, I am like really gonna start hosting tournaments for all these different games, and Odor is definitely one of them that I'm looking forward to doing like the AMA and like tournament with, especially for multiplayer. But I
For sure.
think that in general, like how Bryson was running his tournaments and everything, I think more of that action is needed for us to truly grow this Web3 space.
Oh,
Because
for
the more
sure.
we collab and work together, I think the easier it gets for other projects in the company, not only like to pay like either us or like different people, but also like to help the actual communities get in. Because the most of the problem that I see with these games is like their marketing and promo are shit. And like the people who run like their social media is like not to be mean, but they're just fucking stupid. Like they're not. I'm sorry, like they're not. I don't know.
I can
It
think
means
of a
in
few
the
games
aspect
like
of
that.
knowing social work, like
I'm
knowing
not
how
trying
to
to
work
be mean.
socials. They're not actually. It's not saying stupid people. It means in the actual aspect
yeah, in
of
the
running a
actual
social media
space.
account, because it is very hard. Like a lot of people don't understand how hard it is. Like me and Cluster talk about it all the time. It's extremely hard to manage and run and make a successful, engaging social media account. It's tough. It's tough. So
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, man. The space the space has space to grow. Let's just say that, right?
Yeah.
The space has space to grow.
Is a
For
game that
sure.
stands out for
Yeah.
Nobody's mentioned Illuvium yet.
Is there a
Come on,
game?
guys. Illuvium beta just came out.
Because
But can
I don't know.
you
We just got access, so it's like
I
we're
still
kind of
haven't
like
played it
in. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
haven't played-
Illuvium is sexy. I like
It's-
the way Illuvium's the best looking game in Web3 to me at this point. I think Champions is like right there with them.
I mean, not to be mean, Grasslow, but I don't. Are there any games that are marketed good? Because the shit with Gala, that's a.
Is there
fucking
any
shit.
games stands out for good marketing? Just curious.
No.
I follow a lot of games. Let me think.
No, bro, their IGs be dead as fuck.
Nah, I mean like
No.
Twitter. I'll say this. I'll say Instagram is not a place to pump Web3 content. I'm sorry. Like Instagram to me is a dead social, anyways. And two is like Instagram's full of older people, and older people are the most like against the Web3 stuff. So it's like kind of it works. Not saying don't do it at all, but I just feel like it's not one of the most productive. Like in the Twitter space, right? Who do we know that's like the prime rib of marketing for Web3? I don't know.
Like
I'm trying to think. Just a game, like what it counts, like yeah. You say Illuvium equals overhyped.
I know somebody who's a really good marketer in this Web3 space, but I
Who's
don't know
that?
if people like my boy
Champions
Jason.
marketing isn't
Yeah.
bad. Neither is
Yeah,
Big
Champions
Times.
marketing isn't bad.
No, Champions is good. Champions is good. Champions is really good. Trying to think of another one. I mean, I feel like
Bro, I
a lot
just
of the
see it.
marketing in this space is like It's just like engagement more than, because like, all right, so think about it, right? Twitter 10 years ago with companies and stuff, like it was more like they were just posting about their stuff, right? It was more like ads, right? And now like in our space, it's consistently see games not only retweet the big guys but also the small guys too, right? So like a lot of
But
the
like,
marketing, go ahead.
right, like so Gala, for example, like their like account is like all these accounts most people do, especially looking at like actual marketing, it's like black hat techniques or like white hat techniques. I think that's what they call it. But basically, it's like they're using like hella bots in like a bad way. Like it's
Oh,
it's
that's a
not like
lot of
actually
them.
like hot like helping your
That's a
profile or
lot of these
anybody's socials.
companies.
Mm.
Yeah.
But like literally like the whole like Gala account like was botted out and everything. I'm just sitting here and like what the fuck? Like how can I expect people to take me serious in this space? And this is what niggas are doing. Like
Yeah.
I can't even be mad with the criticism I've received sometimes because it's like I see shit like this and it's like
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel it. I went to
This
play
is
Grit
the
the
space
other
guy.
day. I went to play Grit the other day. I'm gonna say a
Oh
little
my
story
God.
about Gala, and I liked Grit. Grit was cool. Looked cool. Reminded me of a little bit of Red Dead mixed with some PUBG or something. I was like, pretty cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, let me go check out some NFTs. Maybe I want to buy something here. And I stumble across the only thing they have for Grit at the game, and it's $1,000. At that point, I cut the game off and stopped streaming it because I can't. Like, if I can't afford it, how do I can't promote this to my following, like my community. I
Yeah.
can't afford it myself. So if
Well,
I
and
can't
it's like,
afford it,
what is the Web3 elements in Grit?
no idea. No
None.
idea.
What's the answer, Jake?
You can buy $1,000 skin.
Is
That's
it even a
the
skin?
Web3
It's a
element.
box. We don't know what's in the box.
I guess you're right.
It's a box. I didn't go as deep as trying to find out. Once the price point exceeds my brain limit of processing, I just move on to the next thing. But yeah.
I mean, there's that Among Us game that was Web3 that came out, and they easily went at like 1,500 or some crazy shit. I was like, yo,
Yeah. Also, they
immediately turning
said,
that shit off.
yeah.
Mm.
It's also they said Grit Battle Pass won't contain any NFTs. Yeah, that seems kind of
Counterproductive. If you're gonna do
yeah
Web3.
to the whole yeah. I don't know. I've seen.
See, I think eFast is doing it a good way. Like they have it to where like you can play it like because I have it like on Steam and then on Elixir, but it's like literally the same game though. But it's just like
Yeah.
you can have like the non-NFT game or like the NFT game. I think like
You're
if
talking about Superior?
No,
eFast Earth and
yeah.
Another Sun.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, Superior does the same thing too though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Superior actually had a really good update. I actually need to go play Superior.
You know who has the worst social game though is Grit. I looked on their Twitter profile and like they hadn't posted for like 3 months.
Yeah, we
I
did. We
was
did
like,
go
what
through
the
that.
fuck?
We were talking about that. Yeah, in the group chat. Yeah.
I mean, that's how a lot of games were though under Gala because maybe like me, I was talking about this with somebody else because we were like something's wrong with the games that come under Gala. Not like I'm trying to say like in a bad way, like the games itself. But it seems like they'll get under management under Gala, and then like their whole project just gets fucked. Like I low key watched it
Yeah.
happen with Superior, like Drifting, like their community, like devs and everything. Like I've actually played with them, like they're cool ass people. And then it's like then you talk to Gala, and it's like what like
Gala
they
is
obviously
the-
shouldn't be.
Listen,
I don't know.
I live in South Central. Gala is Hollywood of Web3. I live in South Central. I'm in like LA hood part. Like that's Hollywood. Like and it's real because anything you want to buy in Gala is super expensive. I've never went over there and was like, oh, this is a reasonable price. Never. Like it's just crazy. Townstar was crazy. What's the other one? I don't know about Spider
Spider
Tank.
Tanks.
Spider Tank is the only one I didn't look into.
I played
Um,
Spider Things.
is it
I enjoy
expensive?
Spider Things.
Is it expensive
Well,
to get
I
in?
got beta, so I didn't really need to pay for anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
because they got like $5 billion. That's why Gala's sus.
Yeah.
They got hella
Yeah.
money, but then it's like them paying out different projects or actually developing games is in question. It's like, okay, if you have
Yeah.
$5 billion fucking dollars,
games are
what are you
great.
doing with it?
The games are great. The price point isn't, and that's my disconnect. Price point, I tell you this, and that's like, I'll say this. Here, let's get into this right too. What are your two things that you feel like are major like hindrances for these games like going forward? And I'll start with saying mine is price point and onboarding, right? Because they're both one and the same, right? Because most of the time the price point is the onboarding, right? And either or should be easy and reasonable. I feel like price point should not reach. Think about it like this, right? And let's break this down. And I want the gaming companies that are listening to listen to this too. The most expensive deluxe edition games that we would buy would be max $250. That's a deluxe edition for the game that comes with everything, which would considerably be like a NFT or something because it comes with a skin. It comes with exclusive stuff that only us founders or people who bought it would buy. That's $250. That's top tier. So that means, in my opinion, no price point in Web3 should be deluxe over $250 and entry point no more than, at a regular entry point, no more than $60, $75. Because to be fair, that would be what the gamers are used to. When they come over and you're like, hey, well, deluxe is $1,500, the regular is $250, and like the in-between is like $500. They're like, what am I buying? Gaming systems, or am I buying a game?
Yeah.
So
Like $1,000 NFT, it's like, okay, or I'll just go buy a Steam Deck. Like us, what?
and play all my Steam games as I go everywhere, you know? So it's like, onboarding price point for me is the two main things hindering. What do you guys think?
Bro, I can't even contain it down to two things. I'm not gonna lie.
What's your
I've
two
been trying
biggest
to
things?
think.
What are the two things that break your brain every day when you look at Web3 Twitter? When you look at all of that stuff, what breaks your brain? Like what really like grinds your Peter Griffin gears?
This is so hard to say without like being TOS or like fucked up towards project.
No, okay. Well, let's try it. Let's try
Okay,
to
so
keep
like
it
let me
as-
give an
yeah.
example then. Like, okay, with Dead Drop, when I first talked to them and their devs, I went and like they were like, oh yeah, this game's gonna be like the biggest game on console. We're gonna be on console, we're gonna be on mobile, we're gonna do everything. I'm like, okay, that sounds good, right? But if you can't even work like on a controller now on a good PC, like also like the other problem is we don't have like none of these Web3 games, I don't think any of them have like 1,000 daily users. Like on
Axie-
God, like I can't.
Axie might, and which is sad, but they actually might be like one of the ones. They still have a shit ton of people playing that game for some reason.
But I had somebody the other day, bro, try to argue with me that Undead Blocks does, and I was like, "Get the
I don't see
fuck
that.
out of
No.
here!" I
Maybe
was
like
bro,
maybe like
250.
250 to 300. Yeah, I give that 250 to 300
barely
for Undead
250.
Block. But I don't honestly. Yeah, it's no. I can't. Big time maybe.
There's
I don't
just not
know.
enough people.
Big time maybe. Big time has a big international presence. Like they have a big like Asian and like
Big
I was on
Time,
last night with a bunch
Axie.
of guys who didn't speak English. So I was like,
You think Blanco's mine?
hell no, not at all.
No, not even.
150. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Like dude, bro. Move on.
I know King of Fighters almost does. They're at like 980 daily users, but that's also like a separate game they have. Their like main game definitely is over 1,000 users.
I'm trying to think. Yeah,
I guess
think
that
average Web3 games is like at like 250 right now.
I'm gonna say marketing and like the way they deal with different streamers in their community, because that shit's trash. Because they let like VC funders like fuck up like the actual people that play their games instead of listening to the niggas that are supposed to get their content out. See, like the problem is in Web3 right now, you have people that are making games listening to VC funders instead of listening to the people like us that actually would push their games to more people. So I guess that's the first issue. And just because I'm gonna be selfish because I play on controller, I'm gonna say the controller adaptability because. I mean, to really keep it a buck, if your game doesn't have controller like different settings for other people, 1,000 people aren't going to play your game, and this is fairly obvious. Like, you can go through any game, and then we're just going to go through the metrics.
Well, a lot of guys switch from console to PC and still use their controller, so you're going to lose out basically on like what I say a good 25%,
At
which
least.
is detrimental in this space because we just said
Wouldn't it be
average is
more?
about 250, 300. So,
But think about it: who
Around the
plays
board.
on keyboard on console? Like, I know people
Most
that play
computer
Fortnite on
gamers-
console.
Most computer gamers, if they're like a computer gamer, will play with keyboard and mouse.
yeah.
So
but
when we're
is there
talking
more
about
people with
Web3 gaming
PC?
right now, it's all computers. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm saying like in the future though, like if they want all games, and especially if Web3 games will eventually be on console and stuff, like wouldn't it be way more people on controller? Because I know way more people on controller on PC than keyboard and mouse on PC, to be honest. And that's just playing from port and COD alone. There's like everybody that was on console, like they're not playing keyboard on console. Like you know what I mean? The people that get their PC, like you said, people really do stay on controller.
Yeah. I mean, I knew a few people who play keyboard on console, but they were just sweats. They were just sweats, yeah. Just sweats. Like, there's no reason I should hear clicking, bro. We're on Xbox.
Oh my god.
I shouldn't hear that. Oh, look, I lost everything. Yeah. Technical difficulties, guys. Luckily, I didn't just end the stream like that, like an idiot.
God.
I'm back. But yeah.
What about you,
All right.
Diamonds?
I would say the controller thing too, to be honest, you know, because that's all I use. A few betas that I played, like Spider Tanks, I had to use my keyboard. Venom on Fire Wars, I had to use my keyboard. Some other beta, I forget what it was called. I had to use my keyboard. Most of these games, you know, it is keyboard and mouse, and I'm just not. That's not something I'm good at. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? I'm much better with the controller, but when it comes to things that are, you know, hindering the space, you know, from getting more people there, you know, like everybody, you know, Shangar and Apollo made great points. You know what I'm saying? The onboarding needs to be a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be just like it doesn't need to be just like a Web 2 game, but it needs to have that sense of, you know, that stream. That level of easiness to be able to start playing, you know what I'm saying, to turn on the game. Like you said, maybe throw in an email. It should even be optional, you know what I'm saying? So it really should just be, you know, you be able to download the game and then you're able to play it. So I completely agree with that. But I think something that that really hinders people from getting into the space is like you said, they feel like they need to buy you know, the NFT to get into the game, to get something, and I guess that comes along with the space, you know, the Web3 space. You know, you associate that with NFTs, you associate that with different things of that nature. So I understand, you know, where the people who are making these games are coming from, but at the end of the day, it has to be priced at a point where, you know, like Apollo said, where he can shill it to his audience and say, yo, go get this, you know, go play this. I'm playing this. I can afford it. You know what I'm saying? If you guys like what you see, you know, go play it because you'll be able to afford it. But you can't really say that to a lot of things right now. And that's really like, it's like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? How are we going to get more people to play if nobody can even afford it?
Yeah.
So I truly felt that in my heart when he was talking about that. So, I think those are some of the things I'll say. Another thing I think that hinders people is, especially with games, and you're seeing this a lot more. You know, games are not being built on Ethereum anymore, because of the gas prices, because of things of that nature. You know, because when you're doing things on blockchain, every transaction, everything that you do, every time that you click through something, you know, it's a transaction. You know, you have to sign the transaction, that costs money, and so at the end of the day, it's like, people don't want to onboard to, you know, a game on Ethereum, you know, when in a peak market, you know, gas prices are $20, $30, $40, $50, $60 per transaction. So then you're spending that on top of the money that you're spending, you know, trying to buy the NFT, trying to buy the skin, trying to buy the gun, trying to buy the car, whatever it may be. So, you know, that's where a lot of these
is definitely a huge inhibitor.
There, you know, so you know, building games on Solana, building games on Polygon, building games on these gasless, not even gasless, but, you know, a lot less cost of gas than Ethereum. I think moving forward would be something that would help a lot as well. So
I gotta change my answer. Is that possible?
Yeah,
of course.
I was being selfish with the controller thing. That is a huge issue, but bigger than the controller thing, I would say, is the lack of community that Web3, like, it's like Web3 forgot where, like, OG gaming from, and like how we started off gaming. Like, we weren't in Web3, like niggas were playing COD, like GTA, other games. Like, to me, in my opinion, like, especially with everything, that's why I still like hard grind like Web2 games, because for me to truly like believe in Web3, I think you have to be able to bring both together, and you have to be able to show people from Web2 that like this exists, and that like both can like interchange, and it doesn't have to be like fucked up. Like, at the end of the day, this is just a more immersive version of gaming that actually allows you to own your assets and like actually allows you to make money.
Exactly.
But
yeah,
we have, like, I don't know, like, from my personal opinion, people in Web3 space, and even me to a certain extent, because I definitely have an ego, but like people really just have egos, and like it's like you're disconnecting yourself from the actual community, the people that you're trying to work with, and the people that you genuinely want to help. Like, I feel like when don't know, Web3 people kind of get their head out of their ass and realize like, oh well, these are still normal people too. Like they're not just NPCs. Like we should probably tell them about this and like, hey, this could help you out. I think more so instead of like just saying Web3 native, like these apps and everything should be interchangeable to where it should be both Web2 and Web3, and it's just like kind of like a comfortable mix between both. And that's like kind of where I'm at like now with gaming, because like I'm still in Web2, but I'm still playing Web3, and it's like the more I've had that mindset, it's like more people from Web2 are like, yo, like this game actually looks pretty cool, you're saying, and then other people want to from Web3 be like, okay, well let's go play COD together and like go play squads. Like it's kind of the best of both worlds for real. Like why does it have to be like competition between both when it can just help each other?
That's what I always said.
It's not us versus them, right? Like
Yeah, the
we're all
gamers, we never
gamers.
cared. Yeah, we never cared about webs. We don't care unless it was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's the only time we cared about webs, dude. We never cared. I didn't know what Web 2 was. You said Web 3. Like, damn, I'm behind. It was 2 more before. What the fuck were y'all gonna tell me? Like, literally, as a gamer, I'm like, I didn't fucking know. Whoa, we're on Web 3. Holy crap, I didn't know this. But, yeah, man, I definitely agree with you. And then the aspect I'm gonna add on top of that is because for the guys who do, like, I majority play Web 3 games, right? But I still play Web 2 games. I still have games that I like. A Star Wars games comes out, I'm gonna play it. I love Star Wars. A Flash game come out tomorrow, I'm freaking playing it, even though I hate the movie that's coming out. But I love the Flash, right? So I'm gonna play it. And if you make your onboarding process for your Web 3 game seamless, when we switch over to that game and they say, hey, what's this game? You just send them the link. They go ahead and they get into the game, right? And as soon as they get into the game, they see how easy it is for them to get in. They don't even know it's Web 3. They don't even know what's going on. They don't care, and it doesn't matter, right? They'll get in, they'll enjoy the game, and then find out all the benefits that come along with the layer that they decided to be on with this game, right? So that's a big thing, especially for the hybrid streamer, I would say, the hybrid Web3, Web2 streamer. It's easier for you to help those guys out with onboarding the guys from over there because they have more of a connection than the guys who just say, hey, listen, I'm straight Web3ing it out forever, right? They're only going to have the Web3 guys. Then those people are already here, right? The people that are over here on this side, which are the Web 2 guys that some guys are still connected to, you got to make it easy for them to help those guys get in, right? So,
Yeah.
Earth from Another Sun, help my man Shamgar out.
Let's go. Make it easy.
Your mic,
I definitely feel that.
you're muted.
Mike is muted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So I had like a big corporation that like reached out and they wanted to like work with me and do stuff, but they were all like, okay, they were like basically a whole bunch of big corporations that just wanted to come in and like monopolize everything in Web3.
Yeah.
And it was just like, nah. And that's like what scares me about it, because it's like, I think like for like part of the journey for me, it seems like you said, is to bring that back together in a sense, like bring the community together and get it to where people can play both and not feel ashamed of the games they play. And like every game has somewhat of like an economy or like ecosystem from them to where like they could pull out their funds and actually like not just get scammed. Like think about like we said, like Fortnite had like where you could get your money back for V-Bucks or like have some type of currency you could exchange for it. Like that would just be like a game changer in and of itself.
Yeah.
Honestly, with gaming, that's all I truly want for us. People just be comfortable. And I have to truly waste like their time and energy and be like, well, I can actually get something out of this, or actually like create meaningful relationships and bonds with other people. Because I mean, like I said in the beginning, that whole thing with like China and other nations, I mean, like there is a recession coming in the world, and there is like a lot of bad things that already happened, if not more bad things to come. And it's like honestly seeing this tech in a way, it really could be used to negate like a lot of those issues at like a national level. But just because of how we handle it in the community now, it would be hard to organize those powers that be to like do that at a higher level to actually help out different people. Just because like if you can't run Web3 in gaming, like there's no way you can be able to run Web3 like an infrastructure for different people's economy. Like it's just a lot broader and a lot harder, I feel like, at that point. So I feel like we have to solve this issue here in a way to like solve the world issue in a sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Gamers are gonna save the world.
Yes, sir.
It's facts.
You seen Ready Player One?
I was literally about to say that.
Yeah. Seen it, man. Seen it. What about you, Cluster?
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that one of the most important things for getting people into the space is the content creators, and one of the things that I think is inhibiting that process is the way that so there's two issues. A lot of Web3 content creators will put the needs of like the game or whatever ahead of themselves. So like they're not setting a good precedence for other content creators by like actually valuing themselves for what they're worth. So then all these games think that they can just like use content creators for free essentially, and it's fine. It's like that same thing when someone's like wants you to play at their venue as a musician, and like it'll be good exposure for you. It's like no,
Yeah.
man, like exposure doesn't pay the bills. Like it's the same.
all.
It's that same artist struggle that is being perpetuated in Web3 gaming right now, and like, so what do Web3 creators who are full-time creators like myself or something like that, like I go to a game or a game comes to me and they're like they want me to make all this content for them. I'm like, okay, sweet. So you're gonna buy me some groceries then? Like, I can't do this for free. Like,
Oh, for sure.
No, the worst is when they try to pay you in their coin. They're like, well, we can't pay you money, but we'll pay you in our currency. And it's like, well, what's your currency worth? And it's like,
14 cents.
imaginary. Exactly. It doesn't exist.
14.
So I mean, like that's something a huge thing inhibiting the space. I think that content creators aren't valuing themselves properly, and it's making it so that all these projects, these games, think that like they're like little startups, right? Like not everyone. It's hard to have deep pockets in the space right now. It's a bull market or bear market, but still, like you can't expect content creators to like do all this stuff for you and then like not actually give them something. Like games need to value content creators more
For sure.
for what they bring to the table because they're so important. Like
Yeah, they don't succeed
They
if,
won't sit in the same exact day and explain the game 30 times to 30 different people. They won't
Exactly.
do that. They won't do that. You won't do that. Like we're important to you. Like we do that a lot. I get like headaches all the time trying to explain your game to people because sometimes your game's not the greatest in the way it's built out. So like if they're the people in the groundwork, like we're like the most important. Sorry to cut you off, bro. But you were making such a
that's-
great point there.
spitting.
I think Ghostcast has a point to what he was saying. I think that's why, like I said, I'd like to start getting these tournaments hosted for all of us. And like what I've seen from tournaments is like everybody gets viewership. It's easy to like use every stream, like have like a live action thing and to get everybody's perspective, and it just like gets like the community kind of involved and it gets that competition going. I think, like I said, like that's just the biggest thing for Web3 players because he is right. Like everybody can bring like 5 to 10 people per game. But then when you get like, okay, well, instead of bringing that 5 to 10 people like play against each other, like we all like come together and like you all play as a team and like then you play against each other, like instead of
Yeah.
like different community events. That's a lot different than just bringing random people to a game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like a lot more of a presence, I think.
I agree
Yeah,
with
I
you,
mean,
though,
like-
Ghost Cat.
and like a lot of content creators with smaller communities, they're pals, right? So it's like, oh, what game are you playing? Like I want to play with you, right? So it's a great onboarding experience for these games and these projects.
Yeah.
Like do not count the little guy out in any sense, right?
I'll tell you this: the little guy knows more about his community than the bigger guy does, and
Exactly.
more than likely, the little guy's number is not inflated. Just gonna throw that out there.
More in tune with how their community, you know what I'm saying?
I might got 700, but they strong, and they're real. They're strong and they're real, and so.
But yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
is
here
that-
like they just use bots now. Like that's something that like everybody is like, oh, well, he has 100K followers. Okay, well, why does he only have so many like tweet engagement then? Like let's
Yeah.
really start to ask these questions, and all of a sudden everybody
Impressions
gets all
don't
nervous.
match the followage.
Yeah.
That's a major
Red
limitation
flag.
right now, dude. I got people who can't play with me, yeah. And that's I was saying that to the point of like what Ghost Cat's saying. Like I feel like I onboard. We onboard just as many. Like I'm not gonna say like it's certain creators who are gonna onboard like 30 maybe 20 to 30 people per thing, right? Those guys are huge, right? But the majority of us that are even from the range of like 500 followers to like maybe 5,000 followers, right? Which is like what? That's a micro influencer, macro influencer. I don't
Micro,
kind of
yeah.
know. Micro, right? So a micro influencer, right? They're all going to bring in probably about 5 to 10 people. And it's real. It's hard to bring people into games. It's hard to onboard people into games. All of us, I don't know if all of y'all, but me and Cluster have done sponsored streams where you got to onboard people. That shit's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Like, it's really hard. Unless the game is already something that's known or something that's
Yeah.
been anticipated, right? If we were trying to get people onboard people to Halo or Call of Duty, it'd be no freaking problem. But they
They'd
don't
be
need
like, bro,
that.
let's
And
play right
that's,
now.
yeah, they don't need that, and that's why they're not reaching out to us. These guys need it, so that's why they're reaching out, right? So, for sure, man, it's definitely like you gotta respect the creators. Where the ground, where the feet on the ground, where the soldiers.
The troops on the ground for sure.
We get to hear all of the shit that y'all do bad.
Yeah.
While you sit up with your feet up, so
Yeah.
at least help us out. We taking your flack. All right. So we're about at the end. So we do a segment on here called Copper Drop. Normally where I bring up something that's in the space. Sometimes it's a ticket, sometimes it's an NFT, sometimes it's a game. Varies from week to week. This week I actually want to switch it up a bit since we did switch up the way we kind of do things on a normal. We're doing a panel discussion this time. So what I want you to, we're going to go around and you can say, because sometimes it's like two. I know I want to say two, right? Because I usually buy in twos, right? I buy into projects in twos. All right. So I'm going to say two. If you want to say two, you can say two. You can say one. But your latest cop that you cop, NFT, like Web3, like an access token, whatever, right? Give me your latest two. I'll start off. My latest two, I bought 2 more Swoopsters in the mint, which the public mint today. Today's the public mint day. I think today's the last day you could publicly mint. I think it's like 100 left out of like 1,500. They did really good on the sale. So if you guys want to hop on that, remember that. But Swoops, I got 2 new rookies, and they'll reveal tomorrow. I was gonna reveal them today on the podcast, but they pushed the reveal date back. So I'll get to reveal that tomorrow. And I bought a Champions Ascension pet from my Earth Elemental, my Prime Elemental. So those are my 2 cops of the week. Swoops and Champions. So anybody else want to go?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I just bought some cards. The only thing I bought recently is some cards on So Rare, some packs.
Yeah.
Trying to get my some MLB cards, you know, because I enjoy the MLB. I enjoy watching baseball. You know, I'm a big Braves fan, so I copped a couple cards on there, and other than that, I haven't really bought nothing. Like I said, you know, I'm making that move towards, you know, getting more involved into actually copying different things and getting more involved with the different games that are out there right now. So I feel like moving forward, I'm gonna have a lot more opportunities to get those NFTs. To get I'm actually waiting for my boy. He's making a game, so I'm waiting to cop the NFT for that. So I can get access to that as well, and you know, I can keep you guys updated on that because I'm sure that's something that you guys would enjoy as well. So, but other than that, I haven't really copped nothing too crazy. Like I said, the one guy who said that Ghost in the chat, BR1 Droid. If I had the funds, I would love to cop one of those, and I think I will once I get this PC set up, so I can actually go a little bit crazy on that. So I think that if I had to choose something that I'm gonna buy right away when I get this PC set up, it's probably gonna be a BR1 Droid for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely want one of those too. What about you, Cluster?
Nothing.
He said I'm saving.
No, what's the
sounds
last
you
one you
broke
bought?
ass.
Well, what's the last one you bought? Like the last one you could think of.
I think the pretty much the last NFT I bought was freaking Nitro Nation Workshop still. Well, actually I bought like this battle pass for the sandbox. It's kind of neat, but I haven't done anything with it, but it gives you access to all these like events and contests and things.
Okay.
ways you can like win more sandbox items and sand and stuff. But I just haven't freaking done it. It's just sitting in my
Yeah.
OpenSea collecting dust, but it lasts for a while. Like all of the events they go on for like I think up until October or something. So
That's lit. That's lit.
still not so bad. I think it was like 60 sand, so that's like $30.
Cool. Cool. Sham, what's the last one you grabbed up?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even be behind NFTs. Like, for real, this sounds petty. Like, I feel spoiled saying this, but like most games, they just give it to me for free because I play their game. So,
Oh, well, can you say the last free one you got? If you're allowed to say you got it for free. That's what said. Can you say it? I know some games it's like, here, don't say anything. But
I guess I guess I could talk about it. Like Crypto Battles, that was a fun game. They give you money to
Okay.
play it, but they basically want to like do tournaments and other things of that nature. So I look forward like doing something with that. That's why I said I probably have to be on Kick because I mean if you do like a tournament like a gambling tournament on Twitch, everybody's definitely getting banned. So
yeah.
Yeah.
but something like that would be I feel like interesting.
That's lit. That's lit. Well, we right at the hour and 30-minute mark, man. We try not to hold people too much longer than that. So great discussion today. I'm glad that you guys came on and spoke, and I was glad to have a good conversation about the space with you guys and to hear your perspectives. And always glad to hear Jay Cluster's perspective, kind of why I locked him into every Saturday for the rest of his life.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, man. Beautiful conversation, man. Cluster, you got anything to add on before we head up out of here?
No. I think we nailed it. Just trying to figure out who are we gonna raid.
Oh, yeah. That's a good question. Well, before we do that, you guys want to drop your socials really quick to the chat and let them know where they can find you guys at and any of your closing remarks?
I guess I can pull up my link tree.
I don't see who's on. Also, too, if y'all want to, we usually raid out from
Cheers,
all our
guys. It
channels.
was great having you here.
Yeah, Grasso, thanks for being a guest always. You and Ghost Cat are like super OGs. Y'all are super what in the metaverse OGs. Yeah, I really don't
I don't even know how to
have
rate this shit. Oh, right here.
much
Oh, no.
people. I mean, Big Time's got who do they have over here? You got some Big
We
Time.
could raid into Sneaky.
Sneaky's on Big
Custom
Time.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works. All right, we'll raid into him. So chat, yeah, we're gonna head up out of here, man. It's always, man, love you guys. Appreciate you coming out, hearing us talk, and hearing out our perspectives. And it's always good to hear you guys as well. Hear what you got to say. It's always some great perspective in chat. Every time we have
Yes,
this,
sir.
it's always a great perspective. So keep coming every week with that great perspective. It really helps us out. Also helps us figure out like how to talk to these game companies. Me and Jay Cluster, we talk to a lot of games together and trying to get things together and help communities out. So the insights that you give us, they don't go on deaf ears, right? We actually do reach out to these games, and when we talk to them, we say the things that we hear. So you guys are helping out the process. So we appreciate you so much. And
Hey, thanks for coming on, guys.
yeah, man, we had 30 people globally today, about an average of 30 people. So that was really cool as well. So shout out all you guys. We're going to raid out to custom. Is it custom or custom?
I think
does he say it?
It's Custom TV. He just has an E there for some reason.
Okay. All right. So we're going to raid out to him, man. I appreciate y'all, man. And
I
we're gonna get
appreciate
up
y'all
out
for
of here.
having me, man. Like I said, man,
Hey, how you doing
Thank you
there?
for having me on.
this
Yeah,
gave me
no
a lot
problem.
of insight to some of the things I need to be getting into and some of the things I need to involve myself with. Like I
Yeah,
said,
I'm going to shoot you some projects. You'll like Swoops, bro.
no,
You'll
for
like
sure,
Swoops.
and that's what I'm saying.
That
You
and
explain
SCG
some of this
football.
shit, bro. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I need
I can
to
send you
get
some
more.
too. I'm
We'll
a
be
hella
on
games.
SCG?
Bro.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah,
though.
Apollo, I'm down to play like SCG and other games with you. I've been
Yeah,
playing
for
with
sure.
Mojo and
And
everybody.
thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. Hope we could do this again in the future, man.